I'd like to introduce Andy Dorsey. Andy is president of Front Range Community College. Andy, welcome to Business for Breakfast.
Good morning, Mark. Thanks for having me on.
Great to have you on. Now, we have this big controversy these days about college and education, and 50% of the college graduates are unemployed or underemployed. So there's this huge thing about education versus the cost of education. And I happen to believe very strongly in education, but I think community colleges, particularly Front Range, offer a very attractive alternative. Can you talk a little bit about the value of community colleges?
Yeah, absolutely. Community college education, a full ride for 2 years, is probably about a total of between $7,000 and $8,000 for a student. And just had a recent study done that shows that by mid-career, students who have an associate's degree are earning 35% more than students with a high school diploma, and that students get about $3 return on their investment for every dollar they put into community college, even if you account for the time that they lost working while they attended school. So it's really clear that it's a great investment, and students can get into a community college for a relatively low price point but still get outstanding value.
That's, I'm thinking that the trend should be towards community colleges, and of course Front Range is one of the top in Colorado. We're talking about jobs, reskilling America.
Absolutely.
And the jobs that are available now are different than the jobs that were available 5 or 10 years ago. So what is Front Range Community College doing to connect its students and education to the jobs that are available today?
Well, you're really right. The job market has changed tremendously. When this college opened in Westminster in 1977, we had everything from small engine repair to electronics technology. Those programs are completely gone. We work pretty closely with industry to figure out what the needs are right now. So a couple of the programs that we've started recently are health information technology. A lot of folks know that all medical records are being digitized. That's opening a tremendous set of opportunities for people to get jobs in that field. Got a program in clean energy technology up in the Fort Collins campus. That not only prepares folks to work in places like solar or wind, but actually more of the graduates go to places like traditional power plants or to manufacturing plants that have energy-intensive processes or that produce devices that help regulate energy. So those are a couple of the brand-new programs. Then there's standbys that continue to have high demand and should have high demand into the future as the population ages. Nursing continues to be a profession where there looks to be shortfalls over the next 5 to 10 years, pretty dramatic shortfalls, so lots of career opportunities. Also career opportunities in medical assisting and medical office. Another place that you're seeing real dramatic changes in technology is automotive repair. That's become a business where folks need to learn computers, and we've changed our whole curriculum. Folks are still getting jobs, and good-paying jobs in that field as they've adapted to new skill sets.
We're talking with Andy Dorsey, president of Front Range Community College, and a very important education facility here in Colorado.
Andy, how are you? This is Harriet.
Good morning.
I have a question for you. Do you think that the smaller size of the community colleges allows you to move quickly into new cutting-edge programs, some of which, like you were talking about, so that the job skills that the outcome of the students is more applicable versus the larger behemoth-type educational systems that can't move very quickly?
Well, I can't really comment too much on how fast the other systems move, but we do try to move very quickly. A good example is we've got about 8 firms that focus on machining, and they've contacted us and said, we really need help finding skilled machinists right now. 5, 6 years ago, it didn't look like there was a lot of demand, but there's been some reshoring of manufacturing. And all throughout our service area, from Denver through Fort Collins, you're seeing this demand for machinists. A number of community colleges, not just Front Range, are responding. We've offered 2 classes, are working on an expanded program right now with their help. And that's a need that's really risen in the last year or two. If you'd asked them 5 years ago, you just didn't see that same level of demand. So we are doing our best to be quickly responsive. Health information technology is another great example of where we got together with a consortium of hospitals, healthcare providers, and said, hey, this is what we're hearing your need. We're also working with IBM on a big grant to do medical technology training for people in hospitals as well as web developers. Turns out that there's been so many advances in web development that some of the programs in existence right now weren't working for some of the smaller web development folks. So we've been pretty nimble in that regard as well.
We're talking with Andy Dorsey, president of Front Range Community College. One other question. The classes are small, which is incredible. What about the quality of the teachers?
Well, one of the things that I think people are always surprised at when I tell them this is that students who start at community college and transfer to a four-year school do just as well at the four-year school as students who start there natively. They graduate on about the same rate. They have about the same GPA. And that's because we've got excellent faculty who are well prepared and are free to teach. Their focus is primarily on teaching. We've got a faculty member who's a Fulbright scholar, well known as an expert on U.S.-Africa relationships. We've got a number
Andy,
of folks who teach at CU. Yeah.
Andy, this is really important. I'd love to continue. Can you hold on? And after
Absolutely.
the break, we'll come back. Great. Andy Dorsey, president, Front Range Community College, right here on Business for Breakfast. Oil up big today. All right, we're talking with Andy Dorsey. He's president of Front Range Community College. We think this is a major mega trend. That is the conversion of education from these major, bloated, overpriced institutions called college, private colleges, public colleges. And we think the value of community college is so great that there's going to be a mass migration or demand for community college education, and Front Range is right there. It's interesting, Andy, because you mentioned the Fox and I have been talking about why don't corporations set up their own little mini colleges to train their workers for the skill set required. Well, you're telling me that you have relationships with IBM and some of these corporations, and you're actually performing that task as far as being the college for some of these companies.
It actually is interesting. There are certainly companies out there that have their own mini corporations or mini colleges, everything from Hamburger U and McDonald's, and IBM actually does an incredible amount of in-house training. But we do have relationships with a number of companies where we do training for them, everything from Trimble Navigation, which is a GPS company here in Westminster, to Market on Demand. It's a company that makes the back-end websites for a number of the financial sites that I'm sure your listeners use. In fact, they're one of our clients to talk about how do they do better web development, and they're an outstanding firm that's really taken a big jump in the market share of that sort of back-end website, so that if you're getting on checking your stock quotes, there's a good chance you might be at a market product that somebody else is using. So especially with smaller and mid-sized firms, we can customize training for them that meets their needs on a real quick turnaround basis. There's a program in Colorado called Colorado First in Existing Industries that gives grants to businesses that develop new jobs, bring new jobs into the state, and we're the conduit for that and create relationships with the companies. So we're the people who go out, market to the companies, verify what they're doing, oversee their trainings, and sometimes do the training too.
If some of these companies would like to get in touch with you, Front Range Community College, about this grant opportunity, where would they go? What website can they go to?
Well, they can go to www.frontrange.edu. That's the homepage of Front Range Community College. If they're not in our service area, they can get to any community college in the state by going to www.cccs.edu. 3 C's like in cat. And that's
Very
the
cool.
Colorado Community College system. There's 13 colleges, cover the state, lots of different specialties, everything from manufacturing processes in Pueblo to process technology in Red Rocks. It's a really outstanding group of folks, and if one college can't meet a company's need, usually there's another college that can.
How many campuses does Front Range Community College have?
So Front Range has got 3 major campuses. We're in Fort Collins, Longmont, and Westminster, and we've got sites in Loveland and Brighton.
Cool.
We cover the area from about I-70 through the Wyoming border. I just wanted to add one other thing. You were talking about the shift to community colleges. We saw our enrollment increase about 40% when the economy turned down, as people started looking for better value in education. And nationally, you've seen about a 4 or 5% shift in the percentage of people who go to community colleges. So right now, of all undergraduates, you're closing in on about 30% of people going to community colleges. And
wow.
so the data really reflects what you're saying, that folks are looking out there and saying there's real value. You can get an outstanding education, a better education than a lot of people really thought, get well prepared either to go into the job market or go to a four-year school. And Colorado has really done a good job over the last 7 or 8 years at easing the path for transfer. So you're starting to see better and better transfer agreements where students can be guaranteed that if they take the first 2 years at a community college, they can go to any public college in Colorado. Their credits will transfer over. They'll have junior status in a lot of different disciplines. Not everyone, but the bulk of the key disciplines. And you're also seeing Colorado School of Mines reach out to the community college and invite students who've taken almost 2 years there to go to mines, which I think is another good sign about the quality we're delivering.
So is community college maximum of 2 years, or can someone go there for 4 years?
You can't go there for 4 years in Colorado, with one exception. Colorado Mountain College, which has campuses in places like Glenwood Springs, does offer a couple 4-year degrees. In other parts of the country, you're starting to see community college with 4 years degrees in nursing and things like that, but not too much in Colorado. There is a program you can go to community college for 3 years, go to Regis for 1 year, and get your bachelor's degree. And we probably send about 200 students a year into that program at Regis, and that's also a great option.
Another area, in addition to education, that the Fox and I are really big on is investing in community. In other words, invest in the U.S., invest in Colorado, invest in Boulder. So tell us about the economic impact of community colleges on the community.
Yeah, thanks. That's a great question. You know, we actually had a firm, EMSI, do a pretty exhaustive study of what the impact of community colleges were, and their conclusion was community colleges bring about $3 billion a year in extra income to Colorado.
No way.
We touch about 150 to 160,000 students a year, and that economic impact, that $3 billion, was really just on the students who graduate from community college. It really didn't measure the impact of the students who start here and transfer, and about as many students transfer as graduate. But just from the graduates alone, their increased earning power, the increased productivity they bring to the economy, that's a huge impact on the state.
Cool. Well, Andy, we really appreciate you being our guest today on Business for Breakfast. We'd love to have you on maybe a weekly basis because we are so into education, and we think Front Range Community College is great for Colorado. So, again, if people want to get in...
Thanks.
If they want to get in touch with you, what website should they go to?
The website is www.frontrange.edu.
Perfect.
All the information is there. You can find the contact under the About Us link, and all the programs are there as well.
Nice. Andy Dorsey, Front Range Community College, keep up the great work.
Hey, thanks very much.
All right. By the way, Fox, Andy Dorsey is a Harvard graduate. That's pretty cool. You know, a lot of the great leaders of this country have come from Harvard, Yale, Penn,